Happy Sunday, everyone. It's kind of a gloomy day today, but it's actually a really great reminder of the season we're in, which is fall, right? Fall just started this last week. And as much as I don't appreciate fall because it means we're going into winter, I also understand the reason why we need to have the change of seasons, right? So the thing that I really want to talk to you about today is something that we all kind of forget. And, you know, a couple of months ago, someone told me, hey, you know what? This is who I am. And, you know, in some ways, it didn't come as a shock that this person was going to remind me of who this person was, right? But over the last couple of months, I've really started to think about those words, who I am. And I also wanted us to remember that there are a couple of things that we need to take into consideration when we say things like, this is who I am, right? Now, granted, there are always going to be those things that are always going to make us who we are, right? There's going to be the experiences, the struggles, the great times, the not so great times, and they are going to mold us into the people that we become. That is a given for all of us. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter where we come from. It doesn't matter about what our goals are. It doesn't matter, right? But I want us to remember that there are two things that we need to focus on when we say things like, this is who I am. Because essentially, we leave ourselves without two options. If we just say, you know what, this is who I am, can't change it, this is just the way it is, right? It is what it is. But you know what? I disagree with that. I don't believe it's fair to just say, you know what? This is who I am, take it or leave it, right? Don't expect anything different of who I am, because guess what? There are two things that I want us to remember. One, and this is the biggest one, we essentially are who we choose to be. Let me say that again. We are who we choose to be. And I say that because even though we may have come from a particular place or lived through a particular situation and it was extremely hard, difficult, things that we could never imagine, right? Those circumstances can mold us into somebody really, really great, and we can become someone that is resilient and perseveres and things like that. Or when we say things like, you know what, this is who I am, it almost sounds like it's an excuse. Like, hey, you know what, that's what I had to deal with, so this is why I am the way I am. And so really what it means is that you choose to be who you are. You take those experiences and those situations and you decide how you want to respond to them. Now, again, they will always mold you. Those experiences and wherever you found yourself, those will mold you. But ultimately, you choose to become who you are. You choose that. The second thing I want you to remember is also that, and this is the biggest one, I know I said that before, but they're both pretty big, is that who you have been does not have to be who you are now. Let me say that one again. Who you have been does not mean you need to be the same person you are right now. Because ultimately, we can change, right? And if we can change because we have new knowledge, we have new experiences, we've encountered something different, that will naturally make us different. So the whole adage of, hey, you know what, I am who I am, and take it or leave it, or don't expect me to be anything different, you know what? Guess what? I think that we can still choose who we are, and who you were doesn't have to be who you are. But so many times people just chalk that up as, hey, you know what? This is who I am. But really, it's a choice. It is absolutely a choice. And that's what I want us to remember, that it's a choice. And that who you were yesterday doesn't have to be the same person you are today or even tomorrow. You can change. People change all the time. And that's one of the things that's kind of interesting about our lives as we move forward, right? Is that people change all the time. Maybe somebody that you weren't too sure about actually becomes somebody you become really close to, and things like that, because perspective change, situation changes, whatever. So that's today's message. It's not very long, but I wanted to remind you that, remember, when you say you are who you are, remember that sometimes that is something that can be navigated a little bit differently. Don't think that you are just going to be headstrong and this is the road that you're going to take because of whatever reason. You can choose who you are, and you can also choose who you become. And so that's this week's message. Again, not long, but it is something to reflect upon. And I want that to be something that we look at as we're in new moments. You know, I see this all the time when people are like, you know what, I got really frustrated and angry about this situation. Okay, I get it. We all get frustrated. How do you want to respond to that? How are you going to let this moment define who you are? Things of that nature, right? Because when we're forced to quit or think we have to quit, that's who we become. We can always choose to be someone different. And remember, we can always choose to be someone different than we were yesterday as well. Have a great Sunday. Happy fall. Stay well, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.